Hello, everyone, and welcome to our review of Alien Covenant.
Yes.
By the look of my face, you could pretty much sum up my thoughts, but please tell yours.
So this film was.
Please tell your thoughts.
So non-spoiler right now. So I wanted to go see this film, so I brought my brother along. He's not a big Alien fan. I have interest in the franchise. I really like Alien and Aliens. Alien 3 and Resurrection, I'm like, okay. Alien AVP, I have like a soft spot for because at least it's doing something unique and different. Requiem's terrible. And then Prometheus, I thought was an interesting idea with cool concepts, but faltered. And
what made you think this movie would be good?
Holy crap, this movie sucks.
Spoilers. Can we just go into spoilers? Don't see this movie.
Don't see it. I swear, do not see it. You know why it's not doing well at the box office other than Friday? Friday, it's like, this is going to be great. And then everyone's realizing,
the bait and switch.
This is worse than Prometheus. This is worse than Prometheus. Prometheus had you guessing. And at least had interesting ideas and concepts. So it's like you didn't know what was going to happen. As soon as this movie starts, after the first probably 10 minutes, you know exactly how this film is going to end. Exactly.
You could, pretty much nail it. So I'm just going to enter this with my last note. Don't see this movie. Don't see this movie. It is without a doubt one of my worst movies.
I have not seen 50 Shades Darker. This film will probably compete with it for a Razzie nomination. That honestly, in my opinion, this film is terrible.
Hot garbage.
It is.
So let us explain why. And I will let.
Visually, it looks great. Actors are fine with what they're given. Well. Michael Fassbender is great with what he's given.
Daniels in Tennessee, I think, are the best.
Soundtrack's good, but it's like, is this film entertaining? No. I was shaking my head. I didn't pull my hair out, but this literally had I had the same thoughts of Batman vs. Superman, where the first intro, you're like, this isn't bad. This is actually pretty good. And then it starts going, you realize,
nope, it's just trash.
Oh, no. Pull up, man. Pull up. And
Ridley Scott is determined to get to hell. He's plummeting that franchise, which is why I'm saying this, Neil Blomkamp, wherever you are, just kidnap Ridley
I know
Scott.
Chappie wasn't a great film or a good film, but it tried to do something interesting and different.
Here's my note. I'd rather have Neil Blomkamp because, for the love of God,
I will give it to anyone.
At this,
this is a great contrast. He wants it to be Star Wars. You got it. You're the prequel trilogy. Congratulations. I can't wait for the next film to wrap everything up and be somewhat passable, but still leave a bad taste in everyone's mouths. Because, holy mackerel. Yeah, let's get into spoilers.
So, we're just going to start right now. First 15 minutes, pretty good. There's a solar incident. Someone dies.
The crew on the ship there's 15 crew members, are transporting 2,000 colonists plus a lot of embryo to colonize a planet. The ship's name is Covenant. There's an issue at a recharging point where they stop to recharge with a really cool collection of solar fans, which, by the way, this movie looks great.
Well,
yeah, it looks great.
They go to the planet, and guess what? Aliens arise. Now, if this sounds,
they get a distress beacon, by the way.
Yeah, which is for a habitable planet. They're like, oh my god, we never saw.
And most of the crew's like, you know what? Maybe we should just keep going and let the proper authorities deal with it. Nah. Hey, maybe we're going into
I understand responding to a distress signal. The way they do it, though, is kind of stupid because they go on a planet they've never been on before. Also, where's the viral protocol? I'm pretty sure Prometheus, they were in the suits for a reason.
Yeah, as soon as they touch down, they're in the suits. Why the heck are you not in suits? They just walk out. It's like,
they have the suits. They show them in the movie.
Hey, there's no animals or anything on the planet.
Wonder why.
Man, should we put on suits? There could be a zombie apocalypse, man. We have no idea what's out there.
Yeah, also, all this trees and life, and yet no animals? Kinda
weird.
There's
human wheat, and there's no animals. Jeez, wow, there's something wrong. Yeah.
Why is there human wheat if there were no humans
I'm assuming the makers or whatever. They don't even give them a name. I don't know what the name. The god alien things. Not the aliens, but the creators of people, if Prometheus to be believed. Whatever they were, they brought wheat with them.
Here's another point I have. For a super advanced alien civilization, I mean, you see this in the freaking movie. You would think an alien civilization that has space travel, the ability for anti-gravity and all sorts of things.
Yep. Created biological weapons capable of neutralizing an entire planet's ecosystem.
Yep.
You know what their city's made out of? Stone. Do you want to know what their entire city's made out of? Stone. Do they have any safety regulations when a ship is
landing? Mechanical function? Anything like the ship that they saw?
No.
Anything scientific? Nope.
Does
just
it look
stone.
Cool? Yeah, it's fine.
Just made of stone.
Yep. Do they have any,
It's basically if you showed up to an alien civilization that had spacefaring technology and you found them in the Bronze Age. It's like...
But they like making stone pictures of themselves.
Also, I will make note that, you know how I mentioned even the
God strikes
God striking down this movie. The other note I make is, well, maybe they just were there's also only one city, by the way. On this whole freaking planet, there's one city of their homeworld. You're probably asking yourself, hey, wait, what if they just, were nuked? Like they were in an apocalypse and this is all they have.
Yeah.
That's a great point. The only problem is they use technology to dock a ship.
Yep.
So they obviously have this technology, but they live in stone and
capable of interplanetary
travel.
What are they wearing? Cloth. Robes. That's it.
No technology.
No technology.
Other than the docking bay, no major technology.
Yeah.
And they're wiped out. There's a giant death scene. There's all these corpses for 10 years.
Yep.
Didn't decompose.
Yep.
Didn't do anything.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and by the way, after an incident, all the remaining humans get taken by David, which was the robot from the Prometheus.
Yep.
And they go to the site, and all of them decide to keep splitting up and doing their own random things when you're walking through a literal minefield of tens of thousands of corpses.
Oh, and David's been studying these things and has been using, I am assuming...
He also makes note that if you follow me, you're going to be safe.
Yes. He said that twice. The first time after he saved them. All right, fine. You actually didn't even save them. He didn't shoot them. He just scared them. So anyway, he saves the people and brings them to a location that's literally surrounded by dead bodies. So I'm at this point, I'm like, I don't trust you. And then he's like, you're safe here. So the second time.
What?
And then, wait, I'm not done. I'm not done. Then someone dies. And he sees David looking at one of those creatures, and then they systematically kill that creature, and David turns around like, why would you do that? And the captain's like, this, that. And you go, tell me what's everything. And then he's like, all right, proceed. And it's like, no. You, A, just saw him interact with an alien. B, he said it's safe again after you just saw him be totally fine with an alien that just murdered. Oh, by the way, there's husbands and wives. You don't know who's husband's wife. The only husband and wife that you are 100% clear of are the people making out and then die, or
the co-captain, the captain.
They keep saying it over and over and over again, but you never see them interact. And the third one, the co-captain and captain, who, by the way, James Franco's in this film. And me saying that sentence is how long he's in that film.
Yeah, one last note.
I didn't even know he was in this film because he died in the first 2 seconds.
Other note, David takes them to this, again, death-like city.
Yep.
Literally, there's death everywhere, and they're like, you're safe. It's like,
yep.
I don't know.
What's keeping the alien from walking up?
Yeah, what's stopping the alien, this creature? That's a great question. Maybe you should ask that. So, also, if any reasonable people were to see this, they'd be like, maybe not. Maybe this isn't a safe place.
Let's not go with them. This also cascades. Like, the best way to describe this film is trope, 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 trope. And I know tropes are a part of movies. That's fine if it's a part of a movie.
It's just dependent on if you do it well.
Yes.
Or it depends on the execution. And
so
right now, Ridley Scott's execution is about as well. It's about.
So there are two Michael Fassbenders in this film. This is the biggest fucking trope in this film. You have David, and you have
David from the first movie, and Walter from this.
Walter.
And let me put it like this: Walter is taller and bigger than David.
Yes.
Walter is also a different type. He has different roles.
Yep.
He knows the ship.
Yep.
He knows all sorts of things. David, it's revealed at the very end, big spoilers, David took his place. I got a question. You're telling...
No, Walter, David thought he killed Walter. Walter, again, was like, I'm new and improved. Was beating David and then saved the main character, who I don't even know her name.
Daniels,
I don't know.
I think.
Daniel? I don't even know any of them. Again.
I know Tennessee, just because he had the hat.
Yeah, there you go. Which, by the way, Dan McBride's fantastic. Again, with what he's giving. He actually plays it decently smart. Like, I will go to this safety parameter because that is what the computer says. That way we can pick up detail. I will not go further unless we get something else. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, you understand why. He follows through and explains everything. It's like, all right. And even when he doesn't explain, you can tell on reaction when he learns information. Like, all right, he's still grieving, he's still processing information, but you still get it. Oh boy. You see, there's a knife. You see David reach for the knife, and you're immediately like, okay, David wins. David wins that fight. He's going to kill Walter. Then he runs out, and you see essentially David in Walter's clothing. You're like, that's David. You know that's David. He gets on there.
Better question.
Yeah.
He cut off his own hand.
Yep.
In a distinctly better way. One was burned, one was cut.
Yep.
Second two. Walter is bigger than David. So
yep.
How does his clothes magically fit onto him?
Yep.
Third option. Not one time in this movie, after having been betrayed
yep.
by the robot, maybe we should make sure this is Walter. Hey, Walter, what did I say to you about my father?
Fourth, there is no identification system with these robots saying, this robot is Walter, this robot is David. And they have an AI on their system that apparently can't tell the two apart.
Even though it can tell there's an alien life form.
Yeah, it can tell there's an alien life form, but it can't tell David.
This movie is again. There's There's also a whole the ending with the alien. Alien's cool.
Yeah,
that's probably the best part of the movie is just seeing.
By the way, it doesn't look like the alien from the first film.
Nope.
Or the second, or Aliens. So if you're wondering how does this somehow connect to Alien, you still have no fucking clue. Technically, this actually brings up more questions than Prometheus because this is saying
that alien. That's
nope.
Alien.
It's different.
How?
The design and features on this alien are different from the other alien.
Look the same to me.
The tail, the distinct coloration on the skin, and the pattern on it is not the same. The reason I know that is because the Alien game had a distinct. They made sure that it looked like the original because they wanted it to make sense if it's going to be it. Even Aliens, they have small variations on it, but that's because there's so
many.
There's so many, and it's the best way to describe it, it's off multiple generations. So it's going to be there. And you're like, okay, a small variation. No, there are some very big, obvious things that are different between this alien and the other. So he's not done testing yet, which, by the way, spoiler, David brought aliens onto a ship with 2,000 colonists and a bunch of embryos and is going to start scientifically testing. And by the way, literally told the main character, yeah, I'm David. You're going to hypersleep. Have fun. Possibly you may wake up with a chest burster, but, other than that, have fun.
Again, not one question. Also, the last action sequence involving the alien was so overdone.
There's more action. There's some of the shots are in the trailer. You're like, oh, that's gonna be awesome. It's not in the film.
Or how about the fact that they literally, again, I'm not sure what it's like. There's literally a giant corridor and the alien's right behind them. It's like just open fire. Yeah, there's acid, but it didn't cut through the guy's face. Remember?
Yeah.
How far could it go in the ship? Probably not far.
Yeah.
Make a note. So yeah,
it's especially inside of a giant truck. It's like, all right, well we're already gonna send this thing out, so just shoot.
Yeah,
just shoot, because we're already seeing this motherfucker right out the airlock.
Might as well make sure it's dead.
Yep.
And then by the time the acid eats through, it'll be outside the ship. But no, you have to send 2 giant ships out and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's just like,
and you are really lucky that like a lot of things played. But so the best way to describe it is, how every single action is going to play. You know how everything is going to play. How everyone is going to die as soon as it pops up. If you've seen a horror film, you know what's going to happen.
Alien, you can figure this out.
Yes.
Also, it tries to be preachy about creators and the created. And literally, if you want a good comparison about this movie and how well it does it, imagine a 5-year-old going to a college, like, having to speak in front of a whole bunch of college students about the creation.
Yeah.
It's, the idea is there.
Yeah.
But the execution is about as well as, again, a 5-year-old spouting, what it all means. It's like, you could be the smartest 5-year-old in the world, but unless you're like Einstein level, it's not going to work. And literally, it's just a normal 5-year-old just spouting, what does it mean to be created? What does it mean to be this? What does it mean to that? And it's oh my god, it's
surface.
Dumb.
It's all what my brother's trying to say. It's all surface level. There's nothing in
There's no detail.
There's no depth. There's no detail.
It's just like, it's created good and then just walks out. It's like there's no detail, there's no discussion. It's literally just so goddamn preachy.
Yeah, it's essentially like Transformers talking about different races and different ideas about being culturally sensitive, stuff like that. And then you go to see Transformers 2 and they have 2 racist robots and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. But
how about the samurai that shows up in the 4th one?
Yeah. How does that function?
Just because we wanted to sell it in Japan and China.
Yeah.
So, here's my final note for Covenant. I don't know what Ridley Scott is doing. I don't know. I was never really a fan of the Alien franchise. The first one's good. The second one's really good. I've enjoyed them. But it's not a franchise I love. Because you can call the enemy every single time, which is villain or bad or oh god, it's preach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can clearly see what's going to occur.
And that's
not even. I will say this: I would rather watch Alien versus Predator on a loop for a full day because it is cheesy and knows what it is, and I will like the action far more than anything in this movie. The 2 characters I like more. That's it. If you could get those 2 characters from an AVP, golden. It would be a better movie by this times 1,000. And it didn't even need a message. It just had to be cool action. This movie is basically all preach, no delivery.
By the way, could you have cut that final alien scene?
Pretty much.
Like, what would have changed?
Nothing. By the way, the ending alien scene is about as convoluted as you can get because a guy literally has it on him for a second, pulls off, the embryo never goes inside of him. Like, literally, you would think the guy would say, oh, I think something went down my throat. I think I felt something. He had acid burned on his skin. It's like, are you that? Again, this movie is so dumb, but thinks it's so smart, and that's the most criminal thing. Life had a great first act, and then just kind of fell apart. But the execution was still there.
I love also how it's like there's an unidentified life form in the med bay, and it's like, all right, there's also 2 unidentified life forms inside the robot Walter's chest. Really?
Maybe you could have said that.
Man, that would have been good to know.
Or how about unidentified life form inside the guy when they first got on the ship?
Yeah.
Again, this movie isn't smart. This movie isn't good. Don't watch it, don't see it, and that's our final review of it. So we want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all didn't enjoy this because I really didn't. Hope this was informative because this is entertaining. I never want to see a bad movie. I never want to see it. I always want to be entertained.
Yeah.
But this movie was literally just a giant waste of potential. Neil Blomkamp, please, Fox, give it to him. I'll give it to anyone else. Please.
If Ridley Scott's like, I want to make 3 more Alien movies, I'm like, God, don't. Please don't.
It's going to be the same thing. Preachy. Alien shows up. People do stupid things, then they kill the alien in space.
It's like he wanted to make a film about where people come from, and they're like, we have this Alien franchise, and we could really use if you could somehow put this into the Alien franchise so we could sell. Prometheus... Okay, people didn't like that.
Absolutely horrible.
So we're gonna need to change it from Paradise Lost to something with a little bit more of a zinger. How about Alien? What's the ship's name? Covenant? Okay, Alien Covenant. There we go. That's the ship name. Hopefully they'll get more butts in the seats. What, people not liking it? Okay, the next one. Movie. Aliens. Michael Fassbender. That's how we'll do it. We'll get the actor's name and more aliens. That's what'll get people on the seat. Ridley Scott, go. Yeah, don't see this. Don't.
We'll see you next time.